Southern Colorado's Rock Alternative, 97.7 The Academy. It's your old buddy Conman flying through it. And can you believe it? My guest today is a 1986 Academy grad. He served as Commandant of Cadets right here from 2010 to 2012. And after an incredible 34-year career, he's returned to the Academy for his final assignment. Ladies and gentlemen, the 21st Superintendent of the United States Air Force Academy, Lieutenant General Richard Clark. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Con Man. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, man, I've been dying to talk to you.
Awesome.
Because for a lot of different reasons, you're an Academy legend. It started back in the day when you were a cadet. I mean, you went to the Blue Bonnet Bowl. This is in 85, right?
That was my last football game.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
What a big one to go out on.
It was great. We beat the University of Texas. Awesome.
I was telling you off the air, I've got the T-shirt.
Oh, me too.
So, yeah, of course, yours is probably real vintage. Mine's from the Academy gift shop.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
Says Blue Bonnet Bowl on it. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Oh, man,
so
absolutely. Good. Yeah, you earned it, though. Welcome back to the Springs. Welcome back to the Academy.
Thank you. Honored to be here and a privilege, really.
Man, I mean, you just keep coming back. You just can't get this place out of your system, huh?
I can't. It's in me. It's in my blood.
It is.
It is.
Yes, indeed. So you've got the family with you. They've all moved back?
They have. So we're here with our daughter, my wife, and our son is away at school, though, right now.
I see. Okay, so your wife is a media professional, too? Is that right?
Yeah, so she started out in TV.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a TV reporter initially, and then she went to producing. It was easier for her as we moved around to keep producing jobs. So she rolled in and really was a fantastic producer. But, that's where she got her start.
You got it. Has she given you tricks or tips on how to handle yourself during this interview?
She is my most critical advisor on everything. I mean, she picks up everything. She tells me every little blemish on my face and every misspeak that I have, but she's awesome.
Yep. Oh, really awesome. Yeah, holds you to a higher level for sure.
She does.
And then your son, you mentioned your son is in college. He's a freshman, didn't he?
He is. He's a freshman at Harvard. In fact,
wow.
Yeah, I know. We're really proud of him. But he was coming here to the Air Force Academy.
Yeah.
He had an appointment to the class of 2024, and he heard that I was going to be the superintendent, and he said, "Dad, Harvard, here I come. Congratulations to you, but I am not going to be here while you're the superintendent."
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
It's the pressure, right?
Sure.
I mean, kids are saying, "What's your dad doing? What are you thinking about?" And, I think he was just not wanting to have that added element to it. But he had an ROTC scholarship to Harvard, too. So two really great choices, and he picked the other one, and we're proud of him. And he's still going to achieve his ultimate goal of going into the Air Force.
He is, okay. I was going to say, is he a commission with the ROTC?
Absolutely.
Yeah, great.
Absolutely.
So do you think by having a son in college that you can relate maybe a little better with some of the cadets' parents?
I absolutely can. I mean, I can look at the situation that he's in, even at Harvard under COVID and the restrictions that are placed on him there, and understand how I'm feeling about it from a long distance. It really gives me some empathy towards our parents of the cadets here, because I know that there's certain level of angst, while they're apart from their sons and daughters.
Sure.
Really tough.
It's got to be comforting for them, too, I mean, and certainly during this time. Here we are in the middle of a pandemic. Great time to pick this job, sir.
Yeah, I didn't pick it. The job picked me. The Air Force asked me to come here, and here I am. But you're right. It's a tough time to come in here, but I'm honored to go through this with my school, with the amazing team that I've been able to join. Our dean, our commandant, our athletic director, the Air Base Wing, the Flying Training Group, the prep school, amazing leaders, amazing staffs that support them. And I couldn't have walked into a better situation, as tough as it is.
Man, I think, obviously, I'm going to answer my own question here, but as commandant, you knew what you were going to get into here as superintendent, didn't you?
I did. I did.
And I mean, and everything that General Severio went through with the years that he was here, and now you walk in the middle of a pandemic, and we're sitting here doing a radio interview 6 feet apart.
Right.
So, we were just took our masks off. We've got to make sure that this interview was within 15 minutes, and lots of restrictions. But it's really important to keep everybody safe, isn't it?
It absolutely is. The guidelines that have been provided to us by the CDC, by the Department of Defense, are critical.
Yeah,
and we just have to follow them. And it's a little bit inconvenient at times, but I think to keep ourselves safe, our teammates safe, the people around us safe, it's important that we follow those guidelines.
You got it. And you've I was talking about it earlier. You got a 34-year career now. You're sitting back. I mean, I would imagine you can still remember vividly your time as a cadet here.
I do. When you say it out loud, 34 years, it sounds like a long time ago. I guess because it was.
Sure.
But I do. I remember my cadet years very, very clearly. I guess mostly, though, I remember the people that I was here with, my friends who are still lifelong friends. That's what makes this place.
Sure.
You get a lot of great training. I mean, amazing development as a leader, and really I owe everything I am to this school, to this institution. But it's the people that I took away with me. That's what made this place for me.
Yeah, it's the feeling and the emotion, the things that you never forget. Maybe names start to escape you, but the feeling when you see somebody's face, you're like, man, I remember you. I mean, you had my back so many times. Yeah. So. It's amazing, though. I mean, the camaraderie here, and you walk into such a great support team, and you've been up and running. I've seen you all over social media, and man, you hit the ground running, no doubt about it.
Well, everybody here is running, so I just jumped on the train and kept going, tried to keep up. But people here don't slow down.
Yeah,
the academy doesn't wait for anyone, and the cadets are so energetic and fired up and passionate, and it makes this place special.
How do you think this place has evolved between when you were a freshman, from when you were a commandant to now? What was the biggest things that really stand out?
Well, I think, honestly, I'll start with what hasn't evolved.
Okay.
We're still training leaders of character. We're developing leaders of character, and that is at our core, and it always has been and always will be. And that's very comforting to me, because if you get that part right, everything else falls into place.
Sure.
But you can look at other things. When I used to talk on the phone when I was a cadet, it was in a sweaty phone booth because people had been in there and I had been in line and follow in with, after someone else was in there talking to who knows who. But now it's iPhones, it's cell phones, and it's social media, it's texting, it's all those things that we just didn't have when I was a cadet. So the technology is completely different. I will say one of the things that's really funny, I was talking to a cadet the other day, and they were telling me how they were taking Comp Sci 110, and I took that very same class, but there was a big difference. I used punch cards to program the computer.
Oh, wow.
They are in a different place with their programming.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible to me how this school keeps up with the technological developments, the societal developments. It is a different place from the 34 years ago that I was here, because the world is a different place since over the last 34 years. So you have to evolve, and this school has, but the things that are most important, we've kept the same. So I'm really proud.
Absolutely. Really proud. To evolve is so important, especially with a tech school that really is underlying technically like that. I mean, this is something we have to stay on the edge. They make sure that I have the best radio broadcasting equipment in here.
Right.
That's crazy.
It's impressive.
It is. I thought, okay, this is going to be a college radio station. I get in and this is all the pro equipment I'm used to working with.
Not at USAFA. We go big on everything here. So and that's one of the things I love about our school.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many things. So you can remember back in the day, you were saying as a cadet, do you remember eating in Mitch's? Did you ever have a favorite meal that you looked forward to eating at Mitch's back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, there are so many. I love the food at Mitch's. I've heard some complaints. I know. Yeah. I hear that. I love the food at Mitch's, and honestly, I've eaten there a few times since I've been back, and I still love it.
Yeah.
But here's some of my favorites. I loved the surf and turf.
Oh, there you go.
We used to get actually steak and lobster, right? And we would get it occasionally, but when it happened, Oh, man. Times were good. But my favorite, Mitch's Mountain.
Ooh, never heard of that.
Oh, man. So it is a mountain of cake, ice cream, whipped cream, toppings,
Wow.
and it was like 1.5 feet tall, and it was for the 10 cadets at that table, and you got to share that, man. Oh,
I'm over here licking my lips, man.
I just wanted to pick that cake up and just rub it on my face. It was so good.
Absolutely.
I loved it.
Great memories, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, man. So, you have gone all over. You left the academy. You have an incredible career. You've done everything. You've been to every part of the globe. I assume your family has obviously traveled around now with you everywhere. Now, all of that aside, where does somebody like you that's so worldly go for vacation? With all the things that you've seen, like, I don't want to go here, I don't want to go there, but
we go all over. I mean, and it really depends on where we're living. When we lived in Europe, we were stationed in Europe, and we traveled all throughout Europe, all countries. We drove our car. We could travel very easily, and it was amazing. When we lived in Egypt, we traveled all over Egypt and to many parts in the Middle East. But when we live in the United States, we have so many favorites.
Sure.
We love to ski. We love to go visit our family. We love to hike. We love to bike. And Colorado is perfect for that, but we'll do it anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And the bottom line for us is we just love to travel and get out and about, our whole family.
Were you were a military kid growing up? Your folks were military or no?
No, they weren't.
They weren't.
They were not military.
Because you were born in Germany.
I was.
Okay.
So my dad was drafted back in the 60s, and he was only 4 years, and then he got out.
Okay.
So I was not a brat, so I didn't move around much, as opposed to my kids who their entire life, every 2 years, we were moving. We were going somewhere. So
they get used to it.
They do, and our kids are pretty good. Our son went to 3 different high schools.
Oh, it's hard.
But actually, he loved it.
And he did. Cool.
He did great. And our daughter, she's in her second high school, and she loves it too. And
sure.
In fact, she would even, as a little kid, she would say, "Hey, Dad, we've been here 2 years. Is it about time for us to move to the next spot?"
That's great.
Yeah.
Instead of, you hear the old, "Oh, my kids are so upset they just made new friends and I hate to do it to them again." And, but like yourself, these are friends that you carry with you for your entire life.
That's right. And our family has really had a good attitude about all the moves. And I have to attribute that to my wife.
Yeah.
She is so good about getting them excited
sure.
about where they're going to go and what's next and the new things that we're going to get to do and see every time. And part of it is because she's so excited, but it's contagious. And she just drives our family to success. So I owe that to her for sure.
What a fantastic family dynamic.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm
lucky.
And a great team, between you and your wife to keep it running the way that you do. Incredibly impressive, sir. Now, I thought something that was really interesting reading through your bio after you graduated as a lieutenant. You stuck around at the academy.
I did.
And something that I thought was interesting is that you were coaching JV football, and then you were actually a counselor for a while.
Yeah, so as the JV football coach, we were cadet counselors for the prospective cadets that were coming in.
Okay.
So we would contact them, talk to them about the school, take them on the visit when they would come out to the Air Force Academy. So we were very much involved in their appointment process to get here. And so
you're big influence early.
Yeah, it was great. And it really gave me a different view of the academy early on.
Yeah.
As a cadet, you see it from one perspective, but that immediate year after, I got to see the academy from a whole different lens. And it really set I think, a foundation for what I feel about the academy right now.
Sure. Well, something, too, that's great, being a young lieutenant, you can relate a little easier to some of those preppies and some of the incoming cadets. You're young enough to still be able to relate. So
absolutely. And they actually believe you when you tell them stuff,
right.
So it was good. And I would talk to the cadet candidates or the prospective new cadets, and I'd give it to them straight. I'd tell them exactly what they could expect and what they should be prepared for.
Yeah.
And I think that was good.
Yeah.
It was something they needed to have and something I was happy to tell them about.
So do you have, looking back with, interesting things like that, and obviously you went on this great career as a pilot, and, you've led all kinds of command across the board. You look back over the years, something other than the academy, and think, this is certainly my most rewarding assignment? Something other than the academy?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
You find something rewarding in all of it, I would assume.
Well, I think you're right, Con, man. Every assignment, there's something about it that made it special, and I found that in every one of them. Usually, it was the people, though. It was the people that I worked with, the people that I got to meet, whether they were in the military with us or whether they were people in the community. But every time when our family talks about our assignments, there's always something about that one.
Sure.
That made it special. And so it's hard for me to put my finger on it. It really is.
It's a mark of a great leader when you say things like that, because you found something certainly fantastic about every one of those assignments, instead of saying, and I know they weren't all great and they weren't all easy, but you find the silver lining, which it says a lot about you, sir. So appreciate that.
Well, we've been fortunate. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you got it. And of course, my dad's a pilot. I love the fact that you're a pilot, that you've flown so many different types of aircraft. Do you have a favorite?
Okay, so in this case, I can tell you what my favorite was. The B-1 bomber.
Was it? Okay.
That was, it's the one that I flew the most.
Sure,
okay. I had the longest stint in the B-1. It's the one that I flew combat in. It's the one that I commanded in. And it really is the one that I say I sort of defined my career on early in my career. So I have to say the B-1. Plus, it's just a nice-looking airplane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just too cool, man. I love it. I love the way it looks, way it performs, and it was so fun to fly.
You got it. Well, like you said, every time they fly over the academy, everybody turns their head for sure.
Right.
Did you have a call sign that you'd be happy to share with us?
Oh, man.
I know you don't. Unlike Top Gun, nobody really gets to pick their cool name.
No. It gets assigned to you for something that you do.
Right. And, not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, mine is Harpo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
like Harpo Marx?
Well, that's the same name, not the reason, though. Not a clown. Although
right. I'm not insinuating that.
Well, they could have matched. They could have fit. But fortunately, that's not why they did it. But so just to make a long story short, way back in the 90s, I had a good friend that worked for the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Okay, that was my second guess.
She asked me to come on to the show, and I did it. And my squadron mates saw it, and they were relentless that I was on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Because Harpo is her production company.
Right. They were going to call me Oprah, but one of my friends intervened and said, we can't do that to him because he'll have it for the rest of his life. So they turned it backwards, and Harpo is Oprah spelled backwards.
That's fantastic.
Otherwise, I'd have been hearing you to be calling me Oprah. Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So, obviously, once again, 34-year career, just a brilliant career, sir. So happy to have you here. Somebody that is so well-versed at the academy. When you finally wrap this up, this is your last stop. I mean, you're done. You couldn't go do anything else within the military if you wanted to, right? I mean, this is where you retire.
That's right.
How do you want to be remembered?
Well, I just want to be remembered as somebody that cared about people, that led with purpose, and that just was a selfless leader.
Sure.
And this is full circle for me. I started here. I get to end up here, and it couldn't have wound up better for me and my family. So
yes, sir.
I'm just honored to be a part of this program and everything that this academy means to our country. I'm just so privileged to have the opportunity to be involved with it.
Oh, well spoken, sir. I was just going to say, one of the things that I'm already hearing cadets talk about is how approachable you are. I just saw a video of you arm wrestling cadets.
Oh, yeah.
So, once again, fantastic job on bridging that gap and making them feel comfortable and being so approachable, sir. So thank you for your time. It's been a real pleasure to talk with you, and hopefully we'll get you back in here soon enough.
Well, I appreciate it, Con, man.
Yes,
it's
sir.
Great to meet you, and I look forward to the next time.
Thank you so much. Lieutenant General Richard Clark, ladies and gentlemen, a real pleasure, sir, as we get back into the music that made us famous right here at 97.7 The Academy.